Welcome to the Between Brothers podcast. We have the Chancellor himself, Zero, in the building. Excuse me. And we also have the Duke of Debonairness, Lando, in the building. Thank you so much for tuning into the Between Brothers podcast. Tune in wherever you listen to podcasts. Zero, how was your week?
Man, my week, it was so I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Um I dealt with massive pain and headaches. And then it just all decided to disappear by Thursday. Like, yeah, it didn't make any sort of sense. They're feeling dizzy and everything. Um, the worst it got was on Tuesday because I didn't get to finish. So yeah, I didn't get to finish working on Wednesday, but I was able to complete the day on. I was able to complete Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So other than that, everything else was substandard or standard anyway.
Um, my week was busy. Man, I've been working a lot, being at home a lot too, uh, trying to make everything as easy as possible in the house for everybody for this operation to run smooth. So yeah, man, just been busy, been real busy. But something funny that happened today. I'm sitting in the kitchen, I'm folding clothes, and um, Mason is watching YouTube on the TV, and Cocoa Puff is on my iPad playing playing Roblox. She really don't know how to play it. I downloaded on the iPad thinking it was something a 3-year-old could do, and it's not. It's actually apparently a fairly complex game. I didn't know, but yeah. So she kept like dying in whatever game she was playing. Mason in the room minding his business. So Coco says, Mason, you need to stop watching YouTube and turn the TV off right now because you keep distracting me. And because you're distracting me, I keep dying in my game. So if you want to fight me, I'll be in the kitchen. And just walks off.
I beg your pardon.
What the heck just happened? The son was not doing nothing. He was laying on the sofa silently watching YouTube. And she just goes in, blames him for why she keep losing at the game, and then threatens him. then storms off.
So if you want to fight me, I'll be in the kitchen.
He's like, what the heck just happened? I was like, I don't know, bro.
I was like, yo,
but don't go in that kitchen. Do not go in that kitchen, big dog. I'm sorry. But yeah, like I said, we've been very, very busy. Very busy working at home. working on the road, just a lot of work, and yeah, yeah. So I guess this is the beginning of the week, but I've been taking a day off, so I don't know. I guess it's the end of the week. Start all back again tomorrow. But yeah, man, let's get to these topics, man. So we really don't normally do college football on the podcast, mostly because I really don't follow it. So uh if if there is a topic of conversation I really don't know anything about, the only time I pay attention to college is around the time for the draft. Zero definitely pays significantly more attention to it than I do. So but we did have the college football playoff rankings in order, which there was at one point right before championship weekend. They were pretty much saying, hey, teams who are not playing in championship games aren't going to be punished for not playing in their championship games. So it sounded like Alabama was going to keep its spot. It didn't. SMU pretty much took their spot. And Arizona State winning also solidified their spot. Because I think if Arizona State would have lost, they would have found a way to keep Alabama in. And I guess that's the issue at hand. To be honest, it's a good thing Alabama isn't in it. I think the reason why they're not in is because of the public outcry and the clear SEC Alabama specific bias that has happened over the years, and now people are calling it out on TV. So I think that puts some pressure on the committee. But let me see here. So we got you're gonna have to explain this to me again because I don't understand it. But
All right.
we got Oklahoma number one, Georgia number two.
No, Oregon.
I'm sorry, Oregon. Damn, Oklahoma was a wild bunch this year. I just saw Owen went with it. Oregon number one, Georgia number two, Boise State number three, Arizona State number four, uh, Texas number five, Penn State number six, Notre Dame number seven, Ohio State number eight, Tennessee number nine, Indiana number 10, SMU number 11, Clemson number 12. And they're showing their AP rankings next to them. The only teams that share the same AP ranking as their college football rankings are Oregon and Georgia. So I was of the mindset that the top 12 teams, that was your seat. And Zero kind of explains to me. Actually, he probably explained in great detail, but I just might not caught it. But it was. I was like, well, what's the purpose of the AP poll then, if that's not what they're using to indicate? Because generally in the past, the top four teams in the AP poll were the ones who were making the college football playoff, and now it's apparently ends up different. Because I was like, wait, how does Arizona State jump to being a 4 seed in a first week bye? And then I didn't know that SMU was, or I just realized SMU. I knew they had a bye week because you told me, but I didn't know that they were ranked ninth in the country. So I guess break it down for me, and then we can go into how the college football playoff might look now with this 12-team expansion.
All right. So so I don't so the way it works, the top four, so you're guaranteed to get into the playoff if you win your conference. Well, if so you got the Power Five win their conference and they have one group of five. If they're the highest ranked, I believe, they if they win their conference, they get in. So that explains Boise State being in there. Um, Arizona State, they jump up to 4 only because Clemson beat SMU. So you had to have the top 4 seeds had to be champions of their conference. And they
Oh, okay. Okay. So
so
I guess that makes it fair because like in the past where Alabama would get where Alabama used to get a pass, sometimes they didn't win the SEC. But
yeah,
somehow, like, what was it? Last season was it? When they didn't win the SEC, but because Georgia lost to somebody, they ended up dropping out in Alabama. So the SEC champion didn't get it at all or something like that in the college football
yeah,
play. Okay.
yeah. Because yeah, Georgia lost the SEC championship game, which dropped them out. And I think Alabama was 5th, so they were able to move up.
Always perfectly placed to move in
Yeah,
just in case.
and even though Florida State won their conference and they were undefeated, um, I guess they felt like Alabama would have been the stronger. Well, yeah, they felt like they would have been the stronger, more appealing team to be in the college football playoff. Because I know with hindsight, I think Georgia beat Florida State 63-3 when they played each other in their bowl game last year. But it's no guarantee that Florida State would have lost that bad if they were in instead of Alabama. So I don't. So it's like for real. That's just it is what it is. I think it was they were using SMU and the Alabama thing situation. If SMU had lost, but I don't think it's SMU that I don't think it's SMU that pushed Alabama out. I think it was Clemson winning that pushed Alabama out because I think SMU was ranked too high in the college football playoff ranking for them to drop completely out. So so of course conference champions have to come get in, and then it seems like it's more so out at large teams that get in after that.
So what? All right. So SMU they had dropped to 10 after their loss, so in the 11 seed. But
Mhm.
and so all right. So what
I
it
think the
looks
biggest
like.
question is why is Indiana in there? It seemed like they were like the bigger, like because they don't really, yeah, because if we're gonna go with quality wins, who has Indiana actually played this year for them to
There
garner
had to
a
be
spot?
somebody there in the Big Ten, right? There had to be somebody good, right?
No, I think the only good team they played was Ohio State, and they got beat by them.
That was their only loss.
I believe so. Yeah,
Um, yeah, because Clemson got in, even though they were 16, ranked 16 in the nation because they won their conference championship game.
yeah.
But um, but I guess everybody. So all what? Where is Boise State? What conference are they in?
Mountain West
That's a Power Five.
Group of 5. Yeah. So like I said, the top 4 seeds it was 3 of them had to be Power 5 conferences, and one of them had to be a Group of 5 conference.
Why?
I mean, I'll find out the same as you. When I saw that's what it was, I was
Cause
like,
I would have, because I was when I saw that, I'm like, did they switch conferences? Because I'm thinking the four top seeds were Power Five conferences. I didn't. Huh, that's interesting. I'm like, okay,
I guess
ACC.
I guess it's for
So that's
inclusion.
ACC, Pac-12, Arizona State's in the Big 12 now, right?
Yeah.
Big 12, SEC, and the Big 10 champion. Big 10 champion is Ohio State.
Nah, the Big Ten champions Oregon.
I thought
So the
Oregon's not in the Pac-12. So
no, the Pac-12 doesn't. Yeah. So Oregon's the Big Ten champion. Georgia's the SEC champion. Arizona State is the Big 12 champion. Clemson's
who are
the
the Power Five conferences?
yo, that is a great question because
No, I'm saying because you just said there's the Power Five conferences. Who's the Big 10 champion? You said Oregon.
yeah.
So who's the Pac-12 champion?
Oh, they didn't they don't have a champion. They don't even have a game. They only had two teams in their conference. Well, I guess they still consider them a Power Five conference because it's the Pac-12, but they wouldn't have been eligible for this because of the fact that they only have two teams in their conference until well, I think the next couple of years where they when they start adding teams in. I think they need to add two more teams in order for them to still keep their FBS designation. But I guess it's still considered a Power Five.
Yeah, Power Five conferences are ACC, Big 10, Big 12, SEC, and Pac-12. Wait, hold on. All right, hold on. I think I might. No, I ain't trying to subscribe to y'all. Shoot, give me my news.
And subscribe to our newsletter.
Shoot, hell y'all. Okay.
Yo, while you searching, who if anybody bet Arizona State this year would have won big money, dog. They were they were plus 10,000 bet to win the Big 12. Entering the season, they were voted to finish last
Mm.
in the Big 12. Anybody who voted got big money. Plus 10,000? Like, that's crazy.
All right. Well, that didn't even tell me anything. It said the. It says college football playoff confirmed 2024 format will have 5 spots for conference champions. There's only 4 conference champions. That was stupid.
That was five. It's
Who's the
just
fifth
it's
one?
just it's just that the Mountain West is the other conference champion. There's just not a Power Five conference. They
Who is the fifth conference champion?
Clemson.
Clemson. Oh, okay. ACC. Oh, yeah. Okay. It has to be for the. Well, okay. All right. All right. All right. Now I'm starting to understand. One, three of the champions. Okay. All right. Three is
So
5 conference champions. Three of the conference champions, or it can't be unanimous Power Five conferences.
yeah, it has to be
Okay.
three Power
Okay.
Five and one Group of Five.
That's where I was. Okay. All right. All right. That's what I thought you. I thought you were saying. All right. All right. No, I when you said that, I was hearing that it was all the Power Five plus a group of 5.
No,
That's
no,
what.
no, no.
Okay. All right. Cool. 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 All right. I get it. I get it. As y'all see, I don't follow college football at
Yeah.
all.
So
Um,
so
but yeah, go
now
ahead.
So now, so now, the question is, who has the easiest path to the national championship game or to the finals? Because so it was between Ohio State, Texas, and Penn State. Because Texas, they faced the lowest seed, and then play the lowest seed in Clemson, then play Arizona State, which will
He's
be
also the
which they
lowest seed.
consider the weakest out of the 4 bye week teams. And
Why are
then
they considered weaker than Boise State? They both
I
got
I
two guys that should be Heisman candidates.
I guess because of their seeding, I guess is why they feel like they're the weakest.
Or
Because
a lot of seeding is based off of what you did or like where you came from. So they were considered to be last, or they were projected to be last in their conference. They were probably ranked going into the season, what, let's generously top 50. And then they significantly outperformed that while Boise State was already a top 25 team going into the season.
mhm,
So they had less of a hill to climb. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
yeah,
the, yeah.
and they got Penn State because they play SMU, and then they play
Mm-hmm.
um, Boise State. It's like the only time Boise State played a Power Five school, they lost to Oregon.
What was the score?
Um, it was close. I think it was like 34-31. I think because they
So
said
they're no
Genty,
pushover. They lost. They're no pushover. They played the
yeah, they said
best team in the
Genty damn
nation
near.
real twice, real tight.
Yeah, they said Genty almost single handedly beat Oregon that day. So yeah, I think yeah it was close. And they said Ohio State. But Ohio State has lost to Oregon this year already, 34 to 33.
But they say it's hard to beat a team twice. So
Yeah, and nobody, and basically they're just saying nobody.
nobody believes in Notre Dame or Indiana to beat
Yeah,
Georgia. Who you think is going to be? Who you think is getting to the championship game?
look, I'm gonna be biased. Actually, no, I can't be biased. I can't be biased because Arizona State's my team. But it's pretty hard. But um, I think it may be Georgia, Oregon. Mm, it only depends on, even though he hasn't really been playing that well this year. It's like really up and down. Um, it has yeah. I need to know how Carson Beck's injury is gonna be like by the time they play because I think he got about 3 weeks to get himself together.
I'm surprised it's not set up like the NFL, where like the number one team goes against whoever the lowest seed is, and like just building
Yeah.
off of that versus like more of a true. This is more of a true tournament bracket, which I guess I wouldn't have an issue with that if it wasn't for them having um the first round bye weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well then, if you're still like if you're in a bracket, let's say Arizona State, you're in a bracket where you could possibly face the toughest team. Well, I guess you would do that. I guess the lowest seed would end up facing the toughest team in the NFL format,
Mhm.
anyways. But like, let's say Clemson won, then the NFL format they would play Oregon and Arizona State would play whoever's the best winner or whatever. So it could be Let me see who would be considered the best winner. Um, if Texas lost, I guess I'll guess Penn State or something like that. So it's just I don't know. I expect to be more like the NFL. I didn't expect it to be
Mhm.
the way that it is, but
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's still and
good.
it's not like the SEC isn't represented. Like they got, I think they have the most. No, I think
Two
no, the
teams.
Big Ten got the most
Yeah,
representation in this bracket because they got Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, and Penn State.
yeah, yeah. Let's say I only see two teams. No, three teams. Tennessee.
Yeah, they got Tennessee, Texas, and Georgia, and ACC got two, and everybody because Notre Dame's an independent.
Notre Dame is the one team that everybody always praises as being good, and then when they play good teams, they get dominated. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Me either, but it is what it is.
Because they mostly play Pac-12 teams, right? Or that's how it used to be, or something.
Yeah, like they would play mostly. Yeah, they would play most. It was like a mix of Big Ten and Pac-10 when it was the Pac-10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is
because
strange because the bat the all the whole everything else Notre Dame's in the ACC, so you'd think that they would
mm,
play more ACC teams. Well, yeah, yeah. No, not AC. Yeah, ACC. Or was it
yeah,
Big
because
East? It used to be Big East that they used to play or something like that,
yeah,
and then they switched to ACC. Oh, um, yeah. So I think before I guess we should say this before. This wasn't a topic, but um, before I think by the time it comes around, we would have already done, or it would be no. We can throw our prediction out because I think by the time the next podcast, it would have already been decided. Who you guys your Heisman Trophy winner?
I got Travis Hunter. I really don't see how you vote anybody else but Travis Hunter.
I think when it came, even Travis Hunter had a phenomenal season, and Genty also had a phenomenal season. They're the top two guys going there. I think he had to break the record to win the Heisman. I don't think. Not saying he didn't have an incredible season, but you got a guy who was arguably the best wide receiver and cornerback in football. We've never seen nothing like that. It'd be a travesty to for him not to be the Heisman Trophy winner. And but they and then also they both kind of it's one of those things where it's like, all right, does the Dion hate get in the trap in Travis's way? Because like a lot of times the region would like vote their like whoever their guy is, but they're both in the same region.
Mhm.
So it's like so it's like I think Colorado borders Idaho, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like it's literally this
Literally.
yeah, like their neighbors. So it's like, yeah, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. But yeah, I think Genty had a phenomenal season, but I think he had to break that record in order what Travis did is, like I said, something we've never seen before. And that when you have an incredible season, that usually wins the Heisman if we've never seen performances the way that we saw certain guys perform. So yeah. All right, moving on. We're gonna go into the NBA. So I've been talking about this, but I haven't brought it up on the podcast because I didn't think it was really much of a topic. And I would have been I felt like a lot of people have just been like, I'm sounding like a hater because I am partially, but it's never nice to hear it. It's never nice to hear it all the time. But I never believed in JJ Reddick, and we'll see. We openly criticize Doc Rivers, but we openly criticize Doc Rivers because one, he had a horrible start after having a horrible season, and had an off season, and he was like, "Yeah, we got an off season together. Watch what we do," and it's just the Damon Giannis show. Like that's all it is. That's his coaching is not leading them to wins, but JJ Reddick, who has come off as very arrogant in the media since becoming a coach, for some reason ESPN doesn't want to say anything negative about him. Stephen A. Smith came out and said that you could see the impact he's making as a coach. They have a worse record than Darvin Ham did at the same point of the season. I think at this point, Darvin Ham last season was 13-9. Lakers last time I looked was 12-11. So I'm just trying to find out how this like I don't even know why I'm asking this question. I know the answer. I know the answer. He has the complexion for the protection. I don't even know because for some reason it's everybody's. And I even had a friend of mine saying, "Oh, if you watch the Lakers, like he's making an impact." Now I'm looking at them like they're one of the worst rebounding teams, which they were last season. They were one of the worst 3-point shooting teams, which they were last season. And he said they were going to get them to shoot more threes, and they're bottom 3 in 3-point attempts. And I'm like, first, what they don't need more threes. And also, that's not your team's strength. Y'all have no 3-point shooters for real outside of Dalton Connect. So how do you expect for your team's 3-point shooting to improve drastically without that? And if you're such a brilliant coach, why aren't you building the team around their strengths? And I guess people are saying like, oh, they have a terrible team. I'm like, it's the same roster that Darvin Ham had, and y'all said Darvin Ham was a horrible coach, and he needed to get fired. And I'm tired of like the brothers that keep defending these guys, or like they be clamoring for a brother's job, but they got every excuse for the other guy's job. LeBron James, oh, he didn't have a 40-year-old LeBron James. Y'all were just saying how great LeBron James was the first couple games of the season. Now he's 40. He been 40. Well, he's technically not 40 until the end of the month, but he's been 40. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been creeping up on that age. He been old. And I even saw it last season. I was like, yeah, I don't even know if LeBron's going to survive this season. I don't know what his numbers are this season, but I didn't really, I saw him declining last season. And he's just like, he just had the game where he had the 39-point triple-double. And it's like, okay, but Kobe also put up 60 his last game playing in the NBA. Like, there's going to be times where guys can elevate themselves and show you that why they were considered elite players and or Hall of Famers, but he's not going to be able to do that on a consistent basis. And even if he did do that on a consistent basis, they lost to an average Atlanta Hawks team, which LeBron threw up God knows what, a prayer. He throws up a prayer with 4 seconds left, except for taking a couple dribbles and getting a better shot. Why? Because he was over it. He like, I'm tired. We in overtime. It's win or go home now. Hoist.
Gabe Vincent to LeBron, 3 to win. No good. Hawks.
He just hoisted a 3-pointer up and hoped it went in. That's the LeBron we dealing with now, just hoisting threes. Cause he like, look, I ain't going to it. LeBron's like, I ain't playing another overtime. Jesus, take the wheel. But look, he like, I'm tired, so tired.
So tired.
Yo, shout out to the great American philosopher Tony Baker, because I'm like, bruh, what was that? What was that? But back to JJ Reddick, and we'll talk about LeBron here a little bit more. But like, they're still not a very good defensive team either, even though they have one of the best defensive players in basketball. Anthony Davis is still an excellent defensive player. So I'm like, if it's the roster and he's playing with virtually the same roster, and for some reason Bronny, who's not even playing games, is still getting blamed for this. I'm sick of the Bronny James stuff now. Like y'all, I'm somebody who was very vocal about him not being an NBA player. Very vocal. But he's not on the Lakers. Stop talking about him. So I don't know. What is JJ Reddick a good coach right now?
No, because if Darvin Ham wasn't a good coach when he was if Darvin Ham wasn't a good coach at the same point this season with the same record and the same roster that get the same thing to JJ. I ain't trying to hear nothing about this is his first year. No, give him the same energy. It's hypocrite, but fans are fickle. So it's like you you really don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but unfortunately, it's like that's what they're looking for, and you damn sure ain't gonna get it from me. Like if Darvin Ham was a bad coach at the same point with the same team at the same record, I don't want to hear nothing about JJ. It's like, oh, it was his first year. No, the NBA coach now. There's no excuses. Like we good on that. It's like he got child goat on the team. Don't like you said. Don't start talking about his age now.
So so Darvin Ham's first season, he started off 2-10 and then finished as a 7th seed. Then of course the second season they started out a little bit quicker. And they were 7th seed again and then lost in the first round to the Nuggets. Because for some reason the team just folds against the Nuggets. But
Because remember the
and
the
Jamal
they
Murray only has eyes for the Lakers because he don't this season. I don't think he's played well against anybody but the Lakers. And I don't know if it was just the Olympics or whatever. Um, you see Jokic kind of say like, dude, if dudes ain't putting in effort, they shouldn't get paid.
yeah.
I was like, yo, that dude pissed. I'm putting a 50 and 15, 20, 30, 25 and 25. And we lost to the Wizards. Don't you know what I'm saying? What was it? Kyle Kuzma? We can't be that team. And they were. But anyways, back to the JJ Reddick. And it's like, okay, JJ Reddick, he talked a good game. You know, how much of this is for on LeBron though? Because Rashad McCants pretty much predicted that JJ was going to be the next coach because it's his friend. And then everybody was like, oh, if you listen to JJ when he's breaking down tape and things of that nature, like he could definitely be a coach. And I'm like, I'm assuming that y'all don't watch football, the people who believe that. Why do I say football? How often have we heard that a guy is the most pro ready quarterback in the game? And it's usually because of how he can break down film, break down plays, break down tape, and he knows the language. And then he come to the league and be horrendously buns. Brady Quinn is an example. Jimmy Clausen is an example. Sam Darnold, he's playing great this season, but throughout his career has not been very good. Um, Actually, let me rephrase that. Insert USC quarterback here. And they've talked the talk, but couldn't walk the walk. And it's like, y'all, I don't know why y'all keep getting fooled with this. Like, just because he's great at talking about pin downs and off ball actions and all that other stuff, like that doesn't mean that he's a great coach. That's not what defines a great coach at the end of the day. Because there's some guys who weren't great X's and O's coaches. To be honest, like how often has Shaq said like Phil didn't really call plays, or like when they were struggling, he'd just be like, "All right, well, I guess y'all ain't trying to win today. Y'all go ahead and figure it out." But he knew how to motivate people. He was a great motivator. So Greg Popovich is probably a better X's and O's guy. Pat Riley wasn't known to be an X and O's guy, but Eric Spoelstra is an X's and O's guy. So it's like, what's his name? Brad Stevens was a very good X's and O's guy, but then when it came down to it, they moved him to the front office because they're like, yeah, you not galvanizing the troops. And then Ime Udoka is not really an X's and O's guy. He has the Houston Rockets as the top 3 seed right now, and nobody's talking about Ime Udoka, who's turned the Rockets, who are a franchise grasping for air when he got there. Worst records constantly. Not only do they have worst records, they couldn't even get a top pick. It's just a bunch of dudes thrown together right now, and he's winning with those guys. But nobody's talking about him. I wonder if it's in his contract that he can sleep with one owner wife per season if they win.
What?
He made Udoka. He like, look, man, as long as y'all let me smash one of these owners' wives, we'll win some games. Cause yeah, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he be turning these teams around, but yeah, no, he's been a great coach. So, and we're so busy making excuses for JJ Reddick, but we're missing great coaching throughout throughout the season. The Cavaliers coach doing a great job right now. Of course, Missoula doing a great job right now. But everybody got excuses for Reddick. It's the roster. It's LeBron's old. And I'm like, okay, well, how much is LeBron to blame? Because is Anthony Davis to blame? I think Anthony Davis all season has scored. No, I think in the last 7 games he scored 29 fourth quarter points. 7 games total. So that's 4 points per game in the fourth quarter. And he's a lead. He's one of the leaders in the NBA in scoring. He's averaging 30. There was one. I think the other night he scored 31 and then scored 4 points the rest of the game. He could score 31 in 3 quarters and then score like 4 points or 2 points in the fourth quarter. Like, yep, I did my job. Y'all take it from here. Like what? He's the only guy I know who can score 30 and three quarters, 35 and three quarters, and not score 40. Like if he scores 40, he scored 39 in the first three quarters. That dude has no desire. That dude has I'm telling you, man, that dude, everybody's talking about Anthony Davis. That dude has no desire to be the man. He has no desire for it. Excellent player, but that's why, and that was one of the reasons why I always liked him. I always like Giannis over him. Giannis seems like he wanted to be the man, and you compare. What's his name is more talented. He can shoot the basketball. He can dribble the basket. He's a better ball handler. He's not a better passer than Giannis, in my opinion, but better ball handler. Both of them are excellent defensively. He's actually a better shot blocker than Giannis. Like there's a lot of stuff as a player. He's better than Giannis, but he's soft mentally. So who's to blame for the Lakers? If you were supposed to be a great head coach, you're supposed to bring that out of your guys, right? If we over here talking about Austin Reeves not being 100% healthy is the reason why the Lakers are failing, then
you failed right then and there.
Fire the GM. I'll give you the roster thing. Fire the GM. Austin Reeves should not be that important to your team. He's not saying he's not a good player. He shouldn't be that important to your team with his skill set. He's a really good role player. That's what he is. But for some reason, he gets hyped up because he's on the Lakers and he's Caucasian. Good Caucasian players always get overhyped in the NBA. So, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why JJ's getting such a pass, why LeBron's getting such a pass. If the Lakers don't make the playoffs, what does it say about LeBron?
It says it's everybody else's fault.
Does JJ Reddick get fired if they don't make the playoffs?
You know what? I'm reluctant to say no,
I'm
but
saying no.
the answer is no.
Yeah, I don't think he gets fired because they said this dude's about to be the next Pat Riley. You can't fire him after one season, right? But then let's say LeBron retires, which I don't think he will this year. I think he's going to after next season. Which I should have had a Slim on the podcast because he's a Lakers fan. What the heck is up with the Lakers? Why are they catering to LeBron in such a way? It's not like all right. Since the Buss family has been owners of the Lakers, they have picked up two guys who end up being Hall of Famers and brought them 5 championships apiece. Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant. LeBron brings 1 championship and he gets better treatment than the other 2 guys did, bringing 10. I don't understand it. LeBron ain't never been that nice, man. And I'm not saying like LeBron ain't one of the greatest players of all time. As far as him being a Laker, he ain't never been Kobe and Magic in a Laker uniform. Never. There was a dude who was yelling at him from the stands. He was like, "Man, I brought you a chip. I usually say I ain't doing nothing. I brought you a chip." Dude was like, "Guess a real championship, not that bubble crap." I was like, "Dang." A Lakers fan, dude wearing a Kobe jersey. I'm like, that's nasty work. And I personally don't believe that the bubble championship should have an asterisk, but I do think that, and I had pretty much predicted it, that veteran teams would play the best in that situation, the veteran teams and the best coach teams. And then, but like, speaking about coaches, JJ, he started out slow. Darvin Ham got them to Western Conference Finals. He was a bad coach. All right. Lakers fans and Lakers people are saying Frank Vogel, who won them a championship, was a bad coach. Darvin Ham, who got them to the Western Conference Championship, was a bad coach. But JJ Reddick having this slow start, he's not. I'm not saying he is particularly a bad coach. I'm just saying you got to keep, like you said, you got to keep that same energy. You can't sit here and make every excuse for him, but Darvin Ham didn't get those excuses and Frank Vogel didn't.
Mm.
But yeah, I see that. Well, I don't know what that podcast is called that LeBron and JJ did, but I see that coming back out in the near future. After LeBron retires, JJ gone. After LeBron retires, JJ's gone. We gotta stop. We gotta stop hiring dudes out the booth to come coach. We gotta stop that. Oh, what about Steve Kerr? Steve Kerr was a front office guy for multiple years before he went to the booth. We gotta stop that. Anyways, the NBA ratings are down. I think they say it's like an all-time low right now. The regular season apparently doesn't mean much anymore. I think fans are growing fatigued of the way the NBA is kind of set up. What I don't think it's a setup like the superstars. Like, the NBA has always been like more player centric than team centric. Or I shouldn't say always, but in my lifetime they have. And so because everybody is so buddy buddy, there's no real rivalries anymore. Giannis is the only one who got beef with people, specifically Jaylen Brown. So, but of course it's not a real rivalry because the Bucks, the Celtics have kind of owned the Bucks. But yeah, there's not really a lot of hostility between teams anymore. And that's actually gone away a long time ago. But I think, because now they're like, oh yeah, let's do the NBA Cup. And I'm like, I've never watched an NBA Cup game. No, I have no interest in that. It's a regular season game. Stop it. Like, the way you create playoff level intensity during the regular season is by putting playoff level teams against each other during the regular season. That's what it is. It's not cups. And then also people are saying like it's the three jacking thing. I don't know how true that is. Because I mean the Warriors been jacking threes like crazy for years, but I do believe, for me personally, the NBA is a more boring watch than it has been because there's no strategy. I said there's no a guy got us like Jokic don't really guard anybody, right? So it's like, how is it possible that as a guard you ain't going at Jokic at the hoop every time to force refs to get a foul on him? Because one thing, they're probably not going to take him out of the game, but one thing you do know is if he's in foul trouble, he's going to let you score. So why are we not doing that? They've taken away the 3-point shot, or they've taken away the mid-range shot for the 3-point shot. Like, I've said this on this podcast a few times. Giannis don't have a shot, but my second favorite player in basketball is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He gets the ball into the bucket. Kevin Durant gets the ball into the bucket. And most other people, James Harden included, it's layup or three, dunk or three, and it's like then the All Star game, the like on some real junk. I think the fans believe that most of these NBA players are getting paid too much for the way that they act. Just you don't want to participate in an All Star weekend. You don't want to participate in All Star weekend, then why are we voting for you to be an All Star? Why are we bothering with the All Star weekend when the All Stars don't want to be in it? And then you try to make the game competitive. Oh, maybe they need. You know what? Didn't baseball do this when they had issues with their All Star game? I think they were having issues with the All Star game, and then they put stakes on it, like you get home court advantage or home field advantage when when.
Yeah, they did. They did. They still
Yeah,
do.
yeah, they still do it, but I think it was because and it wasn't even necessarily that the All Star game wasn't like superstars weren't or all stars weren't trying to participate in the game. I think it was that the all stars weren't playing hard. Like Kobe, I think mentioned this. It should be the world's greatest pickup game,
Yeah.
and it's literally just dudes throwing alley oops and jacking threes. And not saying you got to go 100% or whatever and break people's faces like Dwayne Wade did. Like, it's not like you got to do that, but it's just like, why are none of y'all going at each other? You like, what was it? Wasn't it like one game like where I think I think it was Kobe and Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard was like out on the island against him, and and Kobe and try to guard Kobe on the perimeter. I might be getting it wrong, or like um Shaq shooting a three, like dudes throwing the ball between dudes' legs and getting saucy with the dribbles and stuff like that. Like, why are we not getting that? We're not getting anything out of the NBA anymore except dudes complaining about how hard it is. You got, one of your league superstars acts like he don't even want to be there, and Jokic, y'all acting like giving him MVPs he don't deserve is going to make him love the game more. It's not. I watched 3 NBA games this year. It was Knicks Celtics, Bucks Celtics, and Knicks and the Lakers opening night game. So I think it was opening night and then this recent game, Bucks. Yeah, because it was Knicks Celtics and Wolves Lakers. Yep. I watched both opening night games. Then I watched um the Bucks Celtics the other night. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm lying. I watched more than that. I've watched Victor Wembanyama shoot 4,000 threes a game at 7'4". I'm like, not he's not a big guy, so I don't expect him to like bang in the paint. What are we doing? What are we doing? You're athletic. The matter of fact, you're athletic. You're tall as heck. You can dribble. You can put the ball on the floor, and you're European. Go watch some dirt film and figure it out. You should not half your shot attempts should not be 3-pointers when you're a 7'4" basketball player.
But that's not how the game is played today, though.
And this is why this is part of why I love the fact that Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry were doing what they've been doing this season. Like bring the game of football back to strategy, keeping a defense honest. Okay, you want to play up on me on the three? Okay, two. Imagine Michael Jordan having dudes play him for the 3 point with his mid range game. Oh, he 40, 45. Oh, you think you're going to play me up on the three like I can't get around you? And okay, okay, we'll see. Pump fake, jab step, pump fake again. Two dribble pull up, one dribble pull up. Imagine Melo. I watch this. How I know how easy it is. People like JJ Redick was trying to act like it was easy or harder to guard guys nowadays. This is how I see that guys are easier to guard now. Jason Tatum to me is one of the 5 or 7 best players in basketball. Tyler Hero, J, Jason Tatum trying to get into his bag, get into the handles and stuff like that. Tyler Hero was able to guard him on the perimeter. Why? Because we all knew he was just going to pull up for three. Bro, you are 6'8", 6'9", 6'7", 6'8", 230, 240 pounds. Put your put your backside on him, pause, and punish him in the paint. There's no reason why Tyler Hero should be guarding you. You either getting a bucket or getting free throws. That's how it should be. There's no reason. What are you doing all this for? Make the game easy. Hey, matter of fact, kick it out. I'm coming down. Because he can post up. But no, what we all know what you're gonna do. You're gonna size him up, step back, and shoot a three. And that's exactly what he did and bricked it. And I love Jason Tatum. And what's his name? But Shea ain't no post up player. Freaking you! I see more post ups from Kyrie than I do Jason Tatum. Kyrie, who's 6'2", 190 maybe. What happened to the point guard post up? Freaking Chauncey Billups. I remember Chauncey Billups seeing like, oh, Chris Paul has a hard time guarding guys who can post up, and giving Chris Paul one of the best defensive point guards in the game at the time and of all time, giving him pure buckets. There's no rivalries. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's nothing to root for anymore when it comes to the NBA. There's no villain. Who's there to root against right now? The Warriors are done. LeBron is done. Jokic don't care. The Sixers suck. Embiid always hurt. Who's there to root against right now? Nobody. That's why the NBA rages down. No, there's no strategy. There's nobody to root against. There's no rivalries. Well, how can the NBA fix it? I don't freaking know. That's Adam Silver's job. I don't know how you can create that or stir that up, but this cup ain't it. You're on mute.
He tried. He the NBA Cup was supposed to be was supposed to save ratings, make the regular season more interesting. Clearly, because if it's a lack of strategy, clearly the way the game is being played is boring fans. It's like when you got folks averaging 50 something threes a game, That's half their shots. It makes no sense.
You
You
would
can't
think
say,
because I'm sorry, go ahead.
and you can't say scoring because we talked about it. It's like it ain't like the shooting that many threes is really translating to a bunch of points being scored. So,
Mm-mm. Because here's something that has gotten lost when it comes to the 3-point shot. It's so funny. So the game is faster, right? The game is faster than it was in the 90s and the 2000s. So, and they're shooting a lot more threes. And people are wondering, why aren't teams necessarily scoring more points? Because the game is faster and they're shooting more threes. And it's like, no, well, they're making more threes. Yeah, guess what? Guess what happens when you're not playing physical? There's no more fouls. You're not scoring points with the clock stopped anymore. Like, that's why the scoring hasn't gone up. That's why it's actually starting to come back down to 90s scoring. Now it's not that low, but it start from when the Warriors were at their peak. It's starting to come back down. It's because everybody's shooting threes. You got guys who are on 3-point shooting threes. So guess what's happening? Clank. Yeah, we out here playing Ratchet and Clank all game, and nobody the clock's not stopping. So when the clock's not stopping, and then everybody's like, hey, like for somebody like Anthony Edwards was like early in the season people was like, yo, he shoots too many threes. Like, I'm gonna keep shooting. You're the most athletic player in basketball right now, arguably, between him and John Morant, as far as the star players. Get to the hoop. That's why I love. That's why I love Shea. He get to the hoop. He ain't faking. He ain't flopping. He giving you buckets. Kyrie's hooping. I don't like Luca. Luca's hooping, but Luca's somebody who cry a lot, and that I know that's been something annoying for fans for a long time. And the players that constantly complain to the refs. I know that's always been that's never not been an issue in the NBA. But like I said, you got to create rivalries. The WNBA skyrocketed their ratings this past season. A lot of it had to do with Caitlin Clark and how good of a player she is. A lot of it also had to do with the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese rivalry. That was must see TV when they played each other. What game is there in NBA right now that's must see TV? You don't even get like the marketing. Like, you remember back in the day, they used to be like, they used to say like let's say it's a Christmas game. They Maybe I'm tripping, and anybody who sees this could correct me if I'm wrong. But it used to be like Jordan and the Bulls versus Ewing and the Knicks. And they would show highlights of the two of them playing against each other and things of that nature. And now they still at times, sometimes it's just Knicks versus Celtics. But there was a time, and sometimes there'll be Tatum and the Celtics versus Brunson and the Knicks. But it won't be no like what the highlight usually is? Them running down the court, not them guarding each other, not them giving the other team buckets, them running back down on defense. They used to show like the intensity of these games. So maybe it's because there's no intensity in these games anymore. And so that's the NBA's problem. There's nobody to root against. There's nobody to root for. The players are crying all the time about every freaking thing. And they're crying all the time. They're crying about fouls all the time. Yet they're getting fouls called all the time. They're getting called for fouls more now than ever. And as far as like, I shouldn't say like more, the contact is getting called more as a foul than it used to be. But they're not getting fouled anymore because they're hoisting threes. So it's like, oh, how does the team score 188 points in a game, in triple overtime game? But in now's game, if it's triple overtime, it's 140. It's 100. They should make more threes, 130. Matter of fact, how often do you see a double, triple overtime game anymore? I don't know how often that was when we were coming up, but it felt like you saw more games going to overtime back then. So I don't know. I believe that some kind of rivalry needs to be created. The problem is like, because everybody be talking about like how intense Anthony Edwards is. Anthony Edwards, he talk trash, but he joke. You understand what I'm saying? Like he a joking talking trash. He ain't a Draymond talking trash. Like it's funny, but he ain't joking. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Draymond's old now. You know, he just got benched. Draymond's officially a bench player. Draymond, I'm 3 years older than Draymond. He got more grades than I do. Far
Who
more.
took his spot?
Minga.
Minga? Okay.
And it's time. It's time, but there's no guys being intense like that anymore. You know, Dylan Brooks, but he's not good enough. Nobody's rooting for Dylan Brooks or against him. Or I guess mostly against him, but he's not good enough to care about. The superstars over here hugging each other. No, that's why I like, I'm hoping Giannis and Brown keep having their issues. And then, the Celtics or the Bucks need to win some games against the Celtics for it to like really be a thing. But Giannis is the only person who's really going at people right now as far as a superstar. So I don't know. That's how you fix an NBA. Start get some rivalries going. Get some intensity going in these games. Stop being soft. Stop letting these players play soft, and forget about LeBron. It's over. Like the great American philosopher Eminem once said, "Let it go, dog. It's over." I don't want to be like this. I don't really want to hurt no feelings. But I'm only being real when I say nobody wants to see their grandfather hoop.
He get cramps and heart attacks, and I don't want to be responsible for that. So
Put the
hang your
ball
shit
down and walk away.
away. Yeah.
What's your fix for the NBA?
My fix for the NBA. Um, uh, yeah, chill out with that load management that these niggas play. Because folks are taking advantage of this load management. Nobody playing back to backs. It's like folks be just showing up on the injury report for everything. It's like niggas got a hairline injury and they out for 3 weeks and shit. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, like I said,
You seen the dude
early.
who got a hematoma from a damn hairline for transplant?
Due to the swelling and the headband I was wearing when I got
No.
That dude's head started swelling, looking like freaking the Great Gazoo. Everybody keeps saying Megamind. Nah, man, y'all gotta be more creative, man. The
I
Great
know all
Gazoo,
yeah.
that man dog. Y'all gotta go back, man. Megamind is easy work, man. The man dark is, is
Choo choo
man
choo.
with
Choo choo
that
choo.
half a Woody Woodpecker laugh.
Um,
Anyways, I'm sorry, I distracted you.
you good.
You said hairline it made me think of that guy.
So and honestly, like you said earlier, like meaningful matchups early in the year. It's like it's like NBA Finals it's like say NBA Finals or or conference championship or playoff preview. It's like when these teams see each other, like it's always a playoff atmosphere. It's like niggas don't care nothing about niggas don't care nothing about what's it called the the Nets playing who's a bad team. Yeah, the Nets playing Philly right now. Nobody cares about that. But then but then I somebody also said the ratings are really bad because nobody can really or is really able to watch their games without having to subscribe to 15 different subscription things. It's like folks can't even watch their local games because their local games were given to NBA TV. So now they got to go or now they got to go purchase what's it called? Um, what's the NBA network? It was an NBA
NBA
courtside.
TV.
NBA no, is it's NBA TV
Yeah.
or not whatever it is that you got to subscribe to watch.
League Pass.
League Pass, that's what it was. It was like folks can't even watch their local games anymore because um, with all these um, with all these streaming services now, local networks are giving local games to League Pass. So now you got to go and pay for fucking League Pass in order for you to watch your Orlando Magic game, even though you're even though you live in the fucking area. It's like it was like too many streaming services wanting you to pay. Was like wanting you to pay for a subscription to be able to watch your certain games like it's like Hulu has live sports, but you got to pay 84.99 in order for you to do that shit. It's like I might as well just pay. I might as well just pay for cable. But then when you find out you can't even watch your team on cable television because you got to go get League Pass, now you just went and spent like you're spending $50 a month just to spend another $50 a month. Like it doesn't make any sort of sense. And don't let your team be bad. Now you got to pay another $75 a month because your team blacked out somewhere. So now, so so it's like let, that, I think that might be my parting shot. let local television be great again.
Let local television be great again. Well, shoot, man, that's a good segue to the parting shot. And that's it for us. My parting shot is let it go, dog. It's over. I'm talking to LeBron. I'm talking to the Lakers. I'm talking to Anthony Davis. I'm talking to everybody involved with the Lakers organization and their fans. Let it go, dog. It's over. Just blow it all up. Man, I don't see no talent coming out no time soon. Jeez. Well, hope for the best. Hope for the best. But yeah.
They could probably
Lakers fans, let it go. It's not. Y'all are not a championship team and ain't gonna be one anytime soon. Not anytime soon. It's looking bad for y'all. Anyways, that's it for us, man. Thank y'all so much for listening. We love y'all. We'll see you next week.